Bandits are facing one of the hardest times right now in Kwara, Zamfara, and Katsina states. In recent weeks, Nigerian soldiers together with local security groups and community vigilantes have been pressing very hard on these criminal groups, and the results are beginning to show clearly. Arrests have been made, weapons have been captured, and some of the most dangerous bandit leaders have been neutralized. But at the same time, these communities are also paying a heavy price as attacks are still happening. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so that you can always get the latest updates as soon as they drop. In Kwara State, the military recorded a strong victory after they arrested 5 people who were moving around with 6 hidden AK-47 rifles. These rifles were cleverly concealed under bags of charcoal inside a car, but the security forces caught them before they could deliver the weapons. This is a major success because many of these criminals depend on hidden weapon supplies to continue their violent activities. Taking away such weapons weakens their strength and sends a clear message that the army is watching very closely. Please, if you are still watching, like this video right now and hit the subscribe button. It helps this channel grow. Not long after that, another big blow was dealt to a notorious kidnapper called Maidawa, who had been terrorizing parts of Kwara. He and some of his men were neutralized during a strong operation in the Sanlu Isin forest. Reports also confirmed that the Nigerian Air Force carried out bombardments that finished off this gang. For the communities living under fear, this is very big relief. It shows that the combination of airstrikes and ground forces is bringing results. But the sad part is that bandits still find ways to strike back. Just recently in Okiyod area, they attacked vigilantes and hunters, killing about 15 of them. That same zone also witnessed the death of 12 forest guards, people who were simply protecting their communities. This is why we cannot call this battle over yet. If you agree that these vigilantes and guards deserve respect, like this video right now and drop a comment of support. Over in Zamfara and Katsina states, the story is also mixed with both victories and challenges. Just a few days ago, 17 kidnapped people were released in Zamfara. Among them were 14 women and 3 men who had been held since June after they were taken from Bedigao village in Katsina state. Their freedom is a major achievement for security forces and for the families who have been living in pain for months. Imagine being held captive since June and only getting released in October. The relief must be overwhelming. At the same time, this release shows that bandits are under increasing pressure and they are losing control in some areas. Don't forget, my people, like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next breaking update. Nationwide, we are also seeing progress. Troops have been able to kill some bandits in different states and rescue about 25 kidnapped victims. These are not just numbers. They are lives of men, women, and children who can now return home. Every time a hostage is freed, it is a step closer to peace. But it also reminds us of how serious the crisis has been and how important it is to keep up the pressure. While you are watching, please support by liking this video. It really helps us continue to bring you verified news. Some governors in the northern region have come out openly to explain how tough this fight is. One governor said clearly, "How do you expect vigilantes with pump-action rifles to face insurgents carrying AK-47s? This is the reality on the ground. The criminals are heavily armed, often with weapons smuggled in through routes across borders. Local defenders, who are the first line of resistance in many communities, do not have the same firepower. Still, they continue to fight with courage and sacrifice. That is why every single breakthrough from the military is very important. My people, please subscribe right now because you need updates like this to understand what is really happening in Nigeria." Now, the big question is this: can we say the bandits have truly suffered a heavy defeat? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because we are seeing their leaders being eliminated, their supplies being intercepted, and the hostages being freed. No, because they still carry out revenge attacks, they still kill vigilantes, and they still control some difficult terrains. So the fight is ongoing. But the good news is that the strength is being reduced step by step. If you are hopeful that Nigeria will win this battle, give this video a like right now
Let's spread positive energy.
Another key point we must not ignore is how these weapons keep entering the hands of criminals. It is not enough to neutralize one gang if the weapons pipeline is still active. That is why the Army's interception of 6 AK-47s in Kwara is so symbolic. Every single weapon taken away is one less tool of violence. The question we should be asking ourselves is, who is supplying them? How are they getting these arms? And how can those supply lines be cut off permanently? My people, as I am asking you this, I also ask you again to like this video and subscribe, because we need more people to join this conversation. The role of the local people also cannot be overstated. Vigilantes and community hunters are the backbone of early resistance. They know the land, they know the forests, they know the escape routes of these bandits. In many cases, they are the ones who provide intelligence to the military. But at the same time, they are paying a heavy price. Families are losing their breadwinners in these clashes. Communities are losing brave defenders who stand in the gap. So one of the major issues that must be solved is how to protect and support these local defenders. Do we arm them better? Do we give them better training? Should there be insurance or compensation for families that lose their loved ones? These are questions that leaders must answer. And as you are thinking about it, don't forget, click the like button right now and subscribe so that we can continue to shine a light on these matters. Technology is another area where Nigeria must keep improving. The Nigerian Air Force has already shown how effective bombardments can be,
like in the case of Maidawa's gang in Kwara. But imagine if we had even more drones and surveillance systems in the forests of Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, and Kaduna. Imagine if we had real-time intelligence shared across states. The balance of power could shift even faster. It is not only about manpower, it is also about modern tools of warfare. If you agree that technology is the future of security, like this video right now, and don't forget to subscribe. We also need to think about sustainability. One operation today may bring victory, but what about next month or next year?
The Commissioner of Police in Zamfara State, Ibrahim Maikaba, highlighted the successes recorded by the command in the ongoing fight against banditry, including the rescue of 5 kidnapped victims, the arrest of a gun runner, 2 fabricators of Dane guns, and an illicit drug dealer, as well as the recovery of 4 AK-47 rifles, 228 rounds of live ammunition, and 4 magazines. He told journalists that the rescue of the 5 kidnapped victims followed intelligence from local communities, and the divisional police officers of Talata Mafara, Chief Superintendent of Police Garba Mahota, led a joint operation with operatives of the Zamfara State Community Protection Guards. They intercepted the victims when their captors were relocating with them from the Bariki Daji forest through the Maradun local government area of the state, where the police sighted them and engaged them in a gun battle and successfully rescued them.
Our recent breakthroughs are a testament to the dedication, resilience, and professionalism exhibited by our officers.
The military cannot remain in every single forest forever. There must be a way to sustain peace once areas are cleared. That is where governance, community rebuilding, and economic empowerment come in. If people in rural communities feel safe, have jobs,
and see development, the chances of bandits recruiting new members will reduce. Security alone cannot solve the problem. Development must go hand in hand with it. Please, if you are still with me on this gist, hit the like button now and make sure you subscribe for more. For the victims of kidnappings who have been rescued, their lives will never be the same again. Months in captivity means trauma, broken families, lost time, and fear that may last a lifetime. Support systems must be created to help them heal. And as more victims are freed, the government should prioritize their reintegration. These are not just statistics. They are human beings who deserve better. Let us always remember them when we celebrate victories. If you feel touched by this point, like this video now and leave a comment of support for the victims. The big picture is this: Nigeria is making progress. The criminals are suffering defeats in places they once controlled with fear. But the battle is still ongoing. It is not yet total victory. What we are seeing is a gradual turning of the tide. And if momentum is maintained, we may one day look back at this period as the time when banditry began to truly collapse. But that will only happen if we remain consistent, strategic, and united in this fight. Please subscribe now because we will keep bringing you updates and you do not want to miss the turning points.
Men in the command. 6 male suspects were arrested, including a very notorious bandit. 33 firearms were recovered. He was apprehended in Funtua, Katsina State, following a credible intelligence linking him to numerous kidnapping cases across the state. During interrogation, the suspect confessed to have been part of the kidnapping gang terrorizing Safe, Endoto, and Yangwarin Daji. He further admitted to being an active member, a criminal syndicate known for orchestrating high-profile kidnapping within Damba, Mareri, and Saminaka areas in Gusau local government area.
Maikaba explained that on 19 September 2025 at 4:30 p.m., while police operatives were on intensive patrol along the Gusau-Sokoto highway near the Gadabiu, they successfully intercepted and arrested 2 male suspects riding on motorcycles.
All right, my people, let's continue the gist because this matter is not only about Kwara, Zamfara, and Katsina. Other states like Niger, Kaduna, and Benue are also deeply affected, and their experiences give us lessons that can help us understand the wider picture. Please, as I continue, don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe so you will always be the first to hear these detailed updates. In Niger State, the challenge has been very serious for a long time. The bandits have made the vast forest areas in Shiroro, Munya, and Rafi local governments their base. From there, they launch attacks on villages, kidnap people for ransom, and even disrupt farming. One major issue here is that many of the villages are very remote, with little or no presence of regular police. The people depend mostly on local vigilantes and hunters to protect themselves. But like in other states, these vigilantes do not have the same heavy weapons the bandits carry. So when clashes happen, you hear of high casualties on the side of the locals. Still, the resilience of the people is strong. They keep resisting, they keep passing intelligence to the army, and sometimes they even surprise these bandits with counterattacks. If you believe the courage of Niger people deserves a respect, please like this video now and drop a comment. Kaduna State has also been a hotspot. Communities in Benin Gwari, Chikun, and Giwa local governments have faced repeated attacks. The situation here is even more complicated because Kaduna is not only dealing with bandits, but also clashes between herders and farmers. This mix of problems makes security more challenging. But the Nigerian military has been stepping up with airstrikes, and the state government has been very vocal about the need for stronger support from the federal level. Kaduna is one of the states where schools have been attacked and students kidnapped in large numbers, so the memories of those events are still fresh. Each time the army records success here, people celebrate, but they also remain cautious because they know the criminals have not fully disappeared. If you are following this gist closely, kindly like this video and make sure you subscribe so you can always stay ahead of the news. In Benue State, the story has its own twist. Security forces have been raiding hideouts of armed groups, not only bandits but also criminal gangs hiding under other names. Just recently, the army and police combined to raid camps and arrest suspects who were linked to kidnapping and cattle rustling. Benue has suffered both from banditry and from violent clashes over land. So every successful operation here means farmers can breathe easier, at least for some time. The lesson from Benue is that joint operations, when army and police work together with intelligence support, bring the best results. If you agree that more cooperation between different security agencies is needed, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. One common theme across all these states is that the bandits thrive in forests and difficult terrains. Whether it is the thick forests of Zamfara, the hills of Niger, or the farmlands of Benue.
These environments give them cover and make it difficult for regular security patrols to operate. That is why air support and drones are very effective. When the Air Force carries out bombardments, it forces these groups to scatter. But air power alone cannot finish the job. It has to be followed by ground troops moving in and locals helping with information. This combination is what led to successes in Kwara and will be important in other states too. If you are still watching, kindly support this channel by liking the video right now and subscribing so we can keep bringing you verified gist. Another angle that must not be ignored is the humanitarian effect. In all these states, thousands of people have been displaced from their homes. Many live in camps, surviving on aid, unable to farm or trade as before.
This displacement is one of the biggest hidden tragedies of the crisis. When families are uprooted, children miss school, health suffers, and poverty deepens. So even when we talk about victories against bandits, we must also ask what plans exist to resettle people, rebuild homes, and restore normal life. Without that, the wounds of these communities will remain open. Please, if you agree this part of the story needs more attention, give this video a like right now and subscribe to stay with us. From all the evidence we have, it is clear that the fight is not only about weapons and battles, but also about long-term strategy. Nigeria needs a strong balance of military strength, intelligence, technology, community support, and development. When all these come together, the defeats that bandits are suffering will not just be temporary. They will be permanent. And that is when we can truly say banditry is finished.